everybody, welcome back. I don't know if you noticed, but it is almost July and that is insane. I feel like June just came and went so quickly. I feel like I've been on zombie mode all month. And that just got me thinking about how so many of you have the amazing opportunity to read all summer. There once was a time in my young life when I could do that, and summer meant loads and loads of free time, and it just doesn't mean that anymore for me. The hashtag 9-to-5 life is cruel, y'all. It's hard. So I thought I would do a video all about how to kind of continue reading in the midst of craziness. Being in a 9-to-5 job, Monday through Friday in an office doesn't really leave a whole lot of room for reading. Now, I will say I don't have kids like a lot of my friends, so I do have more reading time than some. But it's just hard to find time to read when you are a young professional. So I kind of wanted to talk about the things that I do to make the time to read, because I love to read, but after being in an office from 9 to 5 all day, sometimes I don't really want to do it. And this isn't really going to be a tips and tricks video because I don't feel like I have it figured out by any means. I don't feel like I'm a very steady reader. I'd love for this to be more of a dialogue. Like, I'm gonna need some inspiration because June was crazy and I didn't get a lot of reading. So please share your reading habits below. If you have any tips and tricks, send them my way. But I did want to talk about some of my reading habits with the hashtag 9-to-5 life. A lot of what I do to stay on top of my reading, I learned from BookTube. So there you have it. We will just share the wisdom. So the first thing that I do is read as many books as I can. And a lot of people hate this, but it really works for me. I'm a mood reader, so I tend to want to read more books at one time anyway. But I feel like when you have multiple books going, especially diverse books so that you don't jumble the plot, it tends to help you keep track of your reading a little bit easier. If you're a type A person, you'll probably appreciate this. I try to have a evening book, or like a book that I keep on my nightstand. A morning book if I have time to read in the morning, which I generally do not. Sometimes I have a weekend book or a middle of the day lunch book. This doesn't work out for me all that well, to be honest. I usually just juggle multiple books and read whichever one I feel like reading. But I've heard that that works for some people who have full-time jobs, so maybe it'll work for you. I will say, if you are not used to reading multiple books at once, I would recommend definitely reading different kinds of books. I am reading All the Light We Cannot See and The Nightingale, as many of you know, and they're both historical fiction books set in the same time period, and I actually really like it because the characters' experiences tend to kind of overlap, and I think that's really interesting. It kind of makes the book feel like, you know, like it's larger than itself. But some people don't really love that. So I think it's all about figuring out what you like, what works for you, how you get into your own reading rhythm. The second thing I do for the hashtag 9-to-5 life to keep up with my reading is listen to audiobooks. Now, this is definitely not any new advice. For me, it all depends on the narrator, which I've talked about before. I feel like you gotta have a compelling story and you have to have a really, really great narrator. I tend to do a lot of research with my audiobooks, which I don't do with reading physical copies of books or on my Kindle. There's just so much that goes into a good audiobook. It has to be compelling, but it can't be too crazy of a story that I'll get lost if I'm folding laundry or cleaning the house. For me, listening to audiobooks is the best solution for a busy lifestyle. I usually begin my day with audiobooks, so it's really great to fit in some reading time before I head into the office. I will usually listen to my audiobook while I'm getting ready for work, and then while I'm driving to and from work, sometimes in the evening when I'm folding laundry or cleaning the kitchen or something, I'll listen to my audiobook. And it is amazing how much reading you can get done with just like 40 minutes to an hour of listening to an audiobook. Now, I totally understand that some people don't have that much time. It's just kind of chipping away a little bit at a time, and I don't know, I really like it. I think it's a great solution for people who have busy work lives, and for people like me who edit all day and your eyeballs get tired, it's just so nice to sit and listen to someone else read a book to you. The third thing that I do is my favorite thing, and I'm fully aware of how crazy I'm about to sound. This is by no means an every month thing, but I generally will set aside one Saturday a month to read. Isn't that amazing? Okay, I know that some people just do not have this luxury, and I'm fully aware of how blessed I am, #blessed, but I'm serious. I take it very seriously. I will set aside either a Saturday, any Saturday really, and I make sure that my husband knows, and I make sure that my friends know, and I basically just say no to all commitments. I say no to hanging out with people, I say no to laundry and errands and work, and I just start my day with a book, and I read until I can't read anymore. And it is glorious, let me tell you. This is getting off on a tangent a little bit, but I fully believe that if you're an introvert, you need that time to recharge by yourself. And it is the most energizing thing for me to set aside a Saturday for me. Even just reading aside, being able to say no to other things and other people and just read is so amazing. Even my husband has commented before that after I have this Saturday where I just read, he said, "You just seem like you're really happy and energized right now." And I don't know what that says about me. Hoping that's not a bad sign. I get so much reading done, and it's really nice to set aside a Saturday at the beginning of the month, because then you can kind of get a jump start on your reading, and it sort of motivates you to keep reading throughout the month. But it's also really nice at the end of the month, if you've had a crazy month like I have, to just kind of catch up on your TBR. And oh man, I look forward to those Saturdays. I really look forward to those Saturdays. Like, I know to some people that sounds so boring, or to some people it sounds great, but totally impossible to do because of life. But I don't know, I just make it a priority. I feel like for some reason people don't really value the commitment that you make to yourself. If you're asking someone, "Hey, what are you doing this weekend?" and that person says, "Oh, I'm doing nothing," that generally means there's time to fill. And so I make that commitment for myself. I say, I'm having me time, I'm having reading time, and it is glorious. And I'm telling you, if you have that 9-to-5 life, it is so great and so worth it, and you should just really look into it. Even if you can't set aside a whole day, just setting aside a few hours in the week and letting other people know about those boundaries that you're setting for yourself can be really, really helpful. The fourth thing that I do is actually a very tangible, practical thing that I hope can help you. I first found out about this in the comment section, and I don't remember who came up with this idea, but it was in one of my favorite booktubers video, The Book Hoarder, and it has transformed my reading life. So what you do is you write on Post-it notes the page numbers of a quarter of the way through, halfway through, and 3/4 of the way through. So they're like little reading goals, and you place them in your book so that when you get to that point in your book, you know how much farther you have to go. They just kind of help you stay motivated, and as you hit that marker, you move the Post-it to the next marker. And I don't know, it's just such a simple thing, but it's really helped my reading life. I think it's like a mental commitment thing, like if it's a really big book, to break it up into sections. And I don't know, it's just, it seems more manageable, especially if you only have small chunks of time to read during your day. It's really nice to say, okay, I only have this many pages left, and it just feels like an accomplishment. If you like to set little goals for yourself that way, it can be really useful. I know it sounds really simple, but I feel like when you're juggling multiple books and work life can be crazy, it's just a little way to put some order in the chaos of things. The fifth thing that I do, and I will say I don't do this often, I want to do it more, is lunch reads. Reading during my lunch break, or if you have any other breaks during the day. Really taking advantage of that time is so valuable. For me, I actually really, really like the people I work with. So on my lunch break, I tend to just want to hang out with them, which is not a bad thing. But I do Occasionally I will have my introverted moments and I will head to the library, which is very, very close to my office, and I'll read. But sometimes I won't read when I'm at the library. I'll just look for books instead, which is not very productive. Or I will head to a coffee shop or something and just get some reading time in. If you're like me and you have like 30 minutes to an hour to read on your lunch break, that's a lot. If you commit to that in a week, you can really make some good progress. So I'm saying all of these things to you, and I feel like I'm really just preaching to myself right now to finish the books that I started this month, because like I said, this month has been a whirlwind. It's okay. If you're anything like me, you're probably really jealous of some of these college students who get to read all day. I love it. Not that you college students don't do hard work. I'm not diminishing that at all. You are hard workers and you deserve breaks. Teachers too. Oh my gosh. Sometimes, man, I just want to be reading with you. It would be nice. It would be nice. So anyway, I feel like I just rambled on and on, but I would love to know if you have a 9-to-5 job, or if you're just really busy with life, what are some practical things that you do to stay motivated and to keep reading? I'd love to know some of the things that you do, some of your reading quirks, and yeah, I'll talk to you later. Bye.